Hello, this is Gary Maloney from Sacktown Slam, and I'm here for your Smackdown review for Tuesday. Yes, I realize it's a Wednesday, and this is like the second time I've had to try to put this up because of stupid idiots who think they can get money out of me through a virus. So, yeah, not happening, Zeus virus assholes. But anyway, getting to the WWE, I'm going to be perfectly honest. You know, this is a situation unto which a lot of people are not liking with it, and because these pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell and TLC, these gimmick pay-per-views, a lot of people don't like them because why should we need a pay-per-view to have a Hell in a Cell? Why should we need a pay-per-view to have a TLC match? Well, I'm going to offer a different perspective. I'm okay with these gimmick pay-per-views. I just don't like their placement, especially this year. Like, Hell in a Cell doesn't have to be in October because it uses the word hell. Ooh, spooky. No, Hell in a Cell and TLC need to be December pay-per-views. Do you know why? Really, SummerSlam is the blow-off pay-per-view for everything that happened in the summer. The blow-off pay-per-view for the spring essentially is, you know, if you want to take your best guess, I guess that would be Money in the Bank this year. They did not make that a dual-branded pay-per-view, but I think in the future it should be. It needs to be dual-branded if it is to make any sense to anyone and mean anything. But between, you know, SummerSlam, between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, there needs to be, you know, SummerSlam needs to be the blow-off show. That's when afterwards you need to start new feuds. Now, there are a few feuds that I think deserve a Hell in a Cell match at this pay-per-view. New Day and Usos most definitely being one of them. But that should be the end. And I repeat, the end of that feud. I mean, it is a great feud. It is a great match. It is with some great people that know what the fuck they are doing. But it is time to switch the direction and the derivative of your company's tag team division. Because the division needs a chance to shine. I mean, you're already breaking up the Hype Bros. I mean, more than likely, I'm expecting the pre-show to be Mojo versus freaking, you know... Mojo versus, oh jeez, I can't even remember what his freaking name is. Mr. Broski, you know, Zack Ryder. He, you know, those two will probably go at each other in the pre-show. I mean, that is going to be your pre-show match. You heard it here first. That will be your pre-show match. Who they push in that match? In its pre-show, I have no idea. Could be Mojo, could be Ryder. I have no clue. Other than that, you've got Bobby Roode and Bobby Roode and the more than likely leaving freaking Dolph Ziggler, whom, yeah, I understand why he's leaving. But the way you booked this feud was very shitty. I mean, and this is the other thing. Why are you booking Bobby Roode as a face on SmackDown and a heel on NXT? 0 cents is about how much sense that makes If I had a dime for how much sense that makes, you know how many dimes I'd have? 0 dimes! Because it just, the narrative of this, I get it, you know. Ooh, flashy entrances. Ooh, that's not ring work. Duh. If you're a real wrestling fan, you already know this shit. Dolph Ziggler is just pointing it out for the derps out there that do not know this shit. So, yes, we know. Okay, we know. Which is more than likely why Ziggler is leaving, and more than likely why I think in 6 months we will be seeing a Bullet Club shirt on Dolph Ziggler, which more than likely I will buy. So, the fact here is that the Bullet Club they're going to get another member. New Japan's going to see the worth in Dolph Ziggler, regardless of his age. He's got the experience, he's got the talent, and he's got the charisma. That's 3 right there. So I think that you couldn't ask for a better guy, and why WWE has just buried this son of a bitch since fall of last year. Why? You would think that in the shakeup, but even if he'd have been sent to Raw, he'd have been buried. So I just feel like everything that's happened to Ziggler has not been his fault. It's been a product of horrible booking. Terrible fucking booking. And when you have a talent like Ziggler, it makes no sense. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. Obviously, this is next to Usos and New Day, probably the best match on the card, because this definitely was set out well. It was played well. We knew it was coming. It was the story, the narrative was built up. You know how I'm always talking about organic build? It doesn't get any more organic than this and Usos New Day. Those are probably the 2 most organically built matches on this card. I mean, what more could you ask for on a card than these things? It really, it feels to me like you can't ask for more than what they've done with those 2 matches. Now, you can ask for a lot more about everything else on this card. Like, why the fuck is Nakamura having to deal with the humiliation from a guy who was a jobber for like 7 years and got fired because WWE had no use for him. Then he gets rehired because they want subscriptions in India. And oh my gosh, he's the biggest thing because he's all roided up. And I'll say it again, steroids, Jinder Mahal, that's exactly what happened. Getting to the actual Smackdown. So, Smackdown Live opens up and Kevin Owens comes out to the ring. Owens says that he's heard all week that Shane McMahon is going to address Kevin Owens' actions. Shane McMahon this, Shane McMahon that, yada yada yada. Owens has been called a coward by everyone, by everyone and their mother. But here he is standing in this ring. But you know who wasn't in the ring? Shane McMahon. Maybe Shane is the coward. But Owens knows better than that. Shane is no coward. He's a very smart man. Last week, Owens said that he respected Vince McMahon, and he does. In fact, he actually likes Vince McMahon. So why the fuck you headbutt him then? So if Owens would do what he did to someone he likes, imagine what he's going to do to someone he doesn't like. Ooh, spooky. At this time, Sami Zayn's music hits, and he comes marching out to the ring. Sami and Owens, meet each other for a moment until finally Sami says he's not out there to fight. He's there to talk because Owens has lost complete control. For God's sakes, he headbutted Vince McMahon. Sami has known Owens for a long time and knows that what happens when he snaps. And when he headbutted Vince McMahon, Sami knew he'd actually crossed a line that he'd never crossed before. If Owens keeps going in this direction, he won't be able to come back from it. He needs to get a grip and stop right now. Owens tells Sami he's cool, he hasn't snapped, but Sami isn't out there to talk sense into Owens. He's out there because Owens has eclipsed Sami in every way and become a far bigger success than Sami could ever be. While Owens has accomplished so much in the WWE, and they go over all his accolades, he's been a Universal Champion, he's been an Intercontinental Champion twice, he's been, a U.S. Champion, he's been NXT Champion, so he's been a lot. And he's done a lot for the short time he's been there. I think it's been like 2 years, and he mentioned that Sami Zayn has been there 2 years before him, and look what happened. Sami will have to watch from the back when Owens destroys Shane in Hell in a Cell. Sami has never made any impact. Sami has never made any impact, which is why at NXT Dallas he got the biggest fucking eruption from the crowd when he was fighting freaking Shinsuke Nakamura, which, by the way, needs to happen again just to prove that these two are relevant. I swear, you take the WWE title away from Nakamura and not give it to him at Hell in a Cell, I will find whoever's responsible for booking and smash their head into Hell in a Cell. Because you're stupid if you think Nakamura is money. Nakamura is shit. Nakamura needs to be thrown away like freaking, what's his name, who has a 115 win streak and got thrown into the LED lights Monday on Raw. He is a loser and needs to be treated as such. Quite frankly, Kurt Hawkins is the Raw equivalent of Jinder Mahal. Except Jinder Mahal has a title he never earned. And anyway, Sami is having a rough time right now, but his time will come, and when it does, he'll do it the right way. I'm going to say this about this promo from Sami Zayn. It was a well-done promo. And he got the crowd pretty riled up when he said he's going to do it the right way. His time will come. And, when his time comes, he's going to shine. Because he's the underdog. People like underdogs right now, and people like Sami Zayn. They want to cheer for them. They want them to win. I mean, they want to put Finn Balor against, they want to, from what I'm hearing from Dave Meltzer, they want to put Finn Balor against Brock Lesnar. Stupid move, by the way, because that's not even believable. Sorry, but A, if it does happen, you're stupid, WWE. And B, if it doesn't happen, then this is just another one of Meltzer's, get cash grabs. It's very angering that this has to happen. And, I think Sami Zayn was absolutely right. Anyway, commercial break. Baron Corbin. Before that, Daniel Bryan came out, made a match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Yes, I think everyone knew that Kevin Owens was going to win. Everybody knew that. But this was a great moment for Sami to basically showcase his repertoire of moves. I mean, everyone just went ballistic when he hit the Blue Thunder Bomb on Kevin Owens. They were really hoping he would get that DDT through one side of the ring to the other side of the ring. I mean, this is a guy who has all the tools and just doesn't get the kind of respect he deserves. I really feel for Sami Zayn, and it's time for him to get involved in the U.S. division, maybe grab a tag team partner, get involved in the tag team division. Fuck waiting around. Just do it already. Creative needs to get up off their ass. Road Dogg and Michael Hayes. Just do something with Sami Zayn. Because this is a prime talent that you're wasting. Much like freaking DZ, Dolph Ziggler. Don't make freaking, do not make Sami Zayn the next Dolph Ziggler. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger, which, as both men enter the match, and the match is about to begin, U.S. Champion AJ Styles music hits, and he comes out to the ring. Styles heads into the broadcast table as Corbin is distracted by him. Dillinger attacks him from behind. Then we have another commercial. And back again. And Corbin has been dominating Dillinger. Corbin goes for a suplex. And Dillinger tries to counter with a small package. But Corbin kicks out. Corbin delivers a chokeslam. Backbreaker to Dillinger. Then they end up on the outside, and Corbin charges Dillinger, who moves, and Corbin crashes into the steel steps. Then they get back in the ring, and Dillinger knocks Corbin to the outside again. Corbin stumbles over the broadcast table and smacks a glass that spills liquid onto Styles. That's not really a good description of it. What he did was he picked up a glass of water and he little Jimmy'd it into freaking AJ Styles' face. He just threw it right into his face. Styles stands up, and they start talking trash. Dillinger comes in from behind, but Corbin reverses him and throws Dillinger over the table into Styles. Corbin jumps back into the ring, and the ref counts out Dillinger. So he won by 10 count. The shortcut king wins by 10 count, Styles jumps up in the ring, and Corbin gets out of dodge. Corbin gets on the mic as he makes his way up to the aisle and tells Styles that he knew and he and Dillinger would work together. Styles can't beat Corbin one-on-one. He then challenges Styles to a match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Okay. This match needs to include Ty Dillinger. Because if it does not include Ty Dillinger, then you are wasting our time. We have seen this match already. It is irrelevant without Ty Dillinger. Because quite frankly, if it's just AJ Styles and Baron Corbin, we already know who's going to win. It's going to be AJ Styles. So why do we care? I mean, if you want to make this pay-per-view relevant, that's one of the things you have to do, is insert Ty Dillinger. Do not, and I repeat, do not make this about Baron Corbin. I mean, don't make this about AJ Styles either. What this should be about is the next guy to hold the U.S. title, and that needs to be Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger should then feud with Sami Zayn. And going into Survivor Series, that should be your rubber match for SmackDown. Ty Dillinger versus Sami Zayn. You get two awesome mid-carders hopscotching the title. I like that idea because these are two guys that do not get utilized and need to be utilized. Baron Corbin kind of fucked himself because he fucked himself out of the Money in the Bank by yelling at Cena and yelling at Creative, and he fucked himself out of the U.S. title by yelling at the freaking medical doctors and having a Twitter war with freaking Dave Meltzer. I'm sorry, but you kind of screwed yourself. I love Baron Corbin to death, but, you know, you need to back off a little bit, cool your jets, and let WWE bring you back when the time is right. And this is not the right time. Anyway, next segment. I'm not really going to go over this segment too heavy because it's just Jinder Mahal doing more with Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And, you know, saying, ha ha ha, look at him. Except, here's the thing. Jinder talks about respecting Nakamura in this promo, which is funny. And then Jinder shows a picture of Nakamura's face, saying that that's what he looks like when Jinder insulted him last week. And then he shows a scrunched up looking face picture of Nakamura and continues the same joke, and that has been missing the mark week after week after week. Finally, one of the pictures turns out to be Nakamura, which is where it gets more interesting. Nakamura then says he's going to give Jinder his comeuppance right here on SmackDown. The lights go out and Nakamura makes his entrance. The Singh brothers intercept early and they start attacking Nakamura. Then Jinder joins the fray and Nakamura ends up taking a little bit of punishment. Nakamura gets rolled out of the ring, but as Jinder comes after him, Nakamura starts fighting back. He delivers a Kinshasa to Jinder. Jinder and the Singhs retreat, and Nakamura pose while his music plays. Good. In fact, deliver like 3 Kinshasas at the pay-per-view. 1 Kinshasa for every week we had to go through this monotonous bullshit. So I'm not very happy with this. Okay, commercial break, and we have a tag team match with the New Day. The New Day come out, and them and Joe actually joined the broadcast table. They were in the crowd, so I don't know where the fuck this dude was getting his information. But it was a tag match between the Usos and the Hype Bros. back from the commercial, and the match gets underway. Mojo takes early control, but Jimmy Uso comes back, and Mojo the Usos stomp Mojo into the corner. Jay pins Mojo. Jay Uso pins Mojo, but Mojo kicks out. Mojo gets a tag to Zack Ryder, who takes it to Jay and hits him with a neck breaker. He pins Jay, kicks out after some move exchanges. Mojo tags himself in, and he and Ryder begin to argue. Ryder was on the top rope and looked like he was going to go for a top rope Rough Rider. And, it didn't look too out of sorts when Mojo pinned himself in, because it looks like the way, they usually throw kind of Zack right for that Rough Rider, just throw him right off of Mojo. But they argued, the Usos capitalize, and Mojo gets hit with a super kick. Jay follows up with a big splash for a 3 count. The Usos and New Day begin to talk trash to each other during the segment. Now, if I can get this to play... Oh, come on. Okay, let me see if I can get this to come over for me. There we go. Now, if I can get this to play, I can get the exact verbiage of what happened. Because this was kind of fun, what was stated. So, yeah, blah, 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 pan pizza.
Meanwhile, Mojo and Zack Ryder, they said something has to give. Maybe the best in all of the double knees. Right. Tag. Final chapter of this heated rivalry.
Okay, here we go. So.
You think everything's a game? You think everything's a damn joke right here? Not messing with the Usos. That's where you three belong. Right on the sideline. Along with the rest of them chumps. You took notes on what a real tag team looked like, right? Come Hell in a Cell, looking at the 5-time WWE Tag Team Champions.
Big E pulls a mic out of the popcorn, by the way.
Now, I'm not sure who y'all are talking to. But you two, you talk a pretty big game for two guys who just lost these titles.
Oh no!
And you also talk a pretty big game about the Usos penitentiary, which makes us think. It makes us think about the fact that we don't want to just defend these tag team championships at Hell in a Cell. We want to defend our WWE World Tag Team Championships inside. Oh yes! Oh yeah! Hell in a Cell! Yeah. It's real,
Now, officially, they did not accept, but, you're not going to miss a money match like this. So, Usos and the Usos and New Day, man, it's real. It's real. And after this feud, I'm predicting should and needs to be over, because Hell in a Cell, that's where you end it. That is how you end a feud. End a feud. End a feud. I've loved every match these two teams have put out, but it's time for it to end. So, this is a great way for it to end. I'm not even going to go over Rusev Day, blah, blah, blah. Useless segment to get Aiden English out there to sing Rusev Day, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, RKO out of nowhere on Aiden English and RKO out of nowhere on Rusev. Yay. Obviously, this is building to Randy Orton versus Rusev again at Hell in a Cell. Why do I care? I mean, really? Why do I care? Like, you're going to have some matches on this card that I really hope are at the beginning of this card, because it's like, why do I care? Anyway, it just not good storytelling in this sense, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, after that segment, Daniel Bryan telling Sami Zayn that Shane McMahon is on his way to the arena now. Sami asked Bryan to make sure Shane's not get involved in this match tonight, and he wants Kevin Owens on his own. So, Sami just being Sami. He is the underdog from the underground. I'm going to do shit myself. That is why he needs a title. Because it is very unbecoming of him to not have a title. I get why you love AJ Styles as U.S. champion, but he's not doing anything to propel that title. Anyway, women's singles match, Natalya versus Carmella. Bell sounds and the two women go at it. They battle back and forth with each other, and the women are getting the advantage. Commercial break. Back again. Carmella is taking it to Charlotte. She slams Charlotte to the mat and hits a crossbody over the top rope, or off the top rope. She pins, but Charlotte kicks out. Carmella delivers an inverted DDT. She pins, but Charlotte kicks out again. Carmella gets frustrated as she moves towards Charlotte. Charlotte counters and hits a big boot. Carmella is knocked flat, and Charlotte pins for the 3 count. Here's the thing. Why the fuck do you have, James Ellsworth on a dog collar? Like, really? Is that really necessary? You want to talk about sexism in wrestling? It goes both ways. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of James Ellsworth, but come on. This has got to be the most degrading shit. Walking in front of a crowd of thousands of people, and you're on a damn dog collar? No. No. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? And I cannot say this again. Get Ellsworth out of that company. He's worthless to the company. He's not propelling Carmella to do anything. That's all Carmella. At this point, Ellsworth serves no purpose. So let it go. He's a worthless sack of shit. Now, after that match, SmackDown Women's Champion Natalya comes out for the match. And let me see if I can find any verbiage of that on HIAC. So, let's see. Well, it does not appear that there is any. So that is disappointing. Anyway, SmackDown Women's Champion Natalya comes out after the match. She tells Charlotte that nothing will make her happier than knowing Charlotte's father, Ric Flair, will get to watch her fall at Hell in a Cell when Natalya defeats her. Natalya holds the belt above her head as Charlotte moves her hands across her own waist as she plans to put the belt there. Here's the thing. Natalya did a woo afterwards. Girl, put your belly into it, okay? It needs, I mean, I like her as a heel, but come on. Put some oomph into your promos. Ugh. They talk about, other heels that have problems. This was ugly. This is the one thing I have a problem, and this was just Dolph Ziggler, walking down, Undertaker's gongs hit, and his music starts playing. The lights go out, and the blue light blankets the Dolph Ziggler is dressed as Taker, which right there when he came out, I'm like, this is way too short to be Taker. He looks way too short. And Ziggler steps between the ropes, and he has a smile on his face. Ziggler grabs the mic and says, "What? You look like you've seen a ghost." The crowd starts chanting, "You suck, clap, clap. You suck, clap, clap." If you really think you'd see The Undertaker 2 times in 1 year? Which, I love that line. That was a great line, but man, that was disrespectful. Ziggler says that anyone can wear a Halloween costume and hobble down to the ring dressed as a zombie, but no one can do what Ziggler does in the ring. No one. These people still don't care. Just then, Bobby Roode's music hits, and then he comes out to the ring. Roode tells Ziggler he's an amazing in-ring talent, but he's also a hypocrite. For a guy who claims no one cares about him, he spends a lot of time coming out, not performing, and telling them so. Which, yay, someone gets the point. Ziggler and Roode are a lot alike. They both claim to be the best. Well, how about a match between Roode and Ziggler at Hell in a Cell? Like we didn't see that one coming. Ziggler starts running through the checklist. Fancy robe. Check. Elaborate entrance. Check. In-ring skills on par with Ziggler. Nope. Ziggler says Roode is everything that is wrong with WWE. He's on for this match, and may he rest in. And then Roode puts his finger over his mouth, and he's like, Roode cuts him off and tells Ziggler that their match will be glorious. And the whole crowd just blew up with glorious chants. So then you had the singles match between Zayn and Kevin Owens. Bell sounds as they immediately explode in a hockey fight, winging with punches on each other. Owens gets the best of things as he knocks Sammy down and whips him into the corner. Owens runs in and hits a big clothesline and then a cannonball in the corner. Owens throws him hard into the barricade. Then Owens stomps Sammy a few times and brings him back into the ring. Sammy is slow to rest, and Owens has a look of loathing on his face. Owens bounces off the ropes, but Sammy comes around with a big clothesline that knocks him down. Sammy rolls outside again, and Owens comes running around the ring after him. Sammy levels Owens again beside ringside with yet another clothesline. Suddenly, the backstage area is shown, and Shane McMahon is walking with a purpose, presumably toward the ring. Commercial break. Back again, and Sammy jumps off into the ropes, and Owens moves, and Sammy jumps off the top rope. Owens moves, and Sammy rolls through. Owens plunges Sammy's skull with a brutal super kick and pins for a near fall. Owens goes for one of his signature moves, but Sammy reverses. Running up the turnbuckle and hitting a tornado DDT, Sammy hits a blue thunder bomb and gets a near fall of his own. The crowd begins to chant, "This is awesome." See, Sammy has that effect on a crowd. Sammy can make you want to chant, "This is awesome." Because what Sammy does is awesome. And you can't deny that. I feel like Sami Zayn is just, he's the guy that everyone wants to see win. Anyway, Sammy gets up for a hallelujah kick, but Owens rolls out of the ring. Sammy leaps over the top rope and out on top of Owens, which looked really awesome. Sammy takes Owens around and leaves and leans him near the ring post. Sammy runs to do his dive through DDT, but Owens super kicks him on the way in. He dived into the ring to do the DDT, and as his head was in the right place, he super kicked him. That must have been a very hard spot to plan for, because that has to be direct. So then Owens powerbombs Sammy onto the ring apron, a la NXT style. Zayn, the ref stops the match, and then as basically, I don't even need to read any. So the ref stopped the match, and what ends up happening was that Owens was outside looking at Sammy, being looked at by a lot of different people, and essentially what happened was he just barrel rolled everybody outside with a clothesline that was helping out Sammy. Not all of them, but all of them at once, including Sami Zayn. Owens knocks Sammy down and then goes to grab a chair. Owens puts the chair on Sammy's neck, which was the other unique part of this, and is looking to end Sammy's career. Shane comes out to his music, and he comes running in to rescue Sammy. Owens pushes the chair into Shane, thus damaging Sammy and hitting Shane with the chair at the same time. Both Sammy and Shane go down, and Owens runs off into the crowd. Getting away from the scene, Shane hops into the ring and stands out on the turnbuckle and talks trash to end the show. So this was a decent way to do this, but I feel like it could have been done better. And, it was, I mean, like I said, the New Day versus Usos and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, those are the two ones to keep your eye on. I mean, they're trying to get us to care about Jinder Mahal and, Nakamura, but unless Nakamura's going to win, I don't give a shit about that match. Not one iota. So make us want to see that match and make him win. I'm not even saying we want to see him win. He has to win. Nakamura has to win. Otherwise, people will cancel their subscriptions. So you don't want to do that, WWE. I don't think you want to take that step. No one gives a shit that you're touring India. No one gives a shit because all your primary subscriptions are right here in the good old US of fucking A. So learn to live with that and learn to give the fans what they want. Going into Hell in a Cell, I like Shane versus Kevin. From what I'm hearing all over the place, Shane McMahon may be taken off of TV, and then you have Daniel Bryan having to work with Triple H, which that could be interesting. It could be Stephanie's return. I don't want to see a return of the Authority per se, because if that happens, then you're going to turn me off SmackDown completely. And you're going to turn me off wrestling completely. So let's not do that with the Authority. But wherever the road goes for Shane, I hope that this isn't the end of it. I have a feeling it's not. From what I've heard, it's going to be Team Shane versus Team Kevin at Survivor Series. So we'll see what happens. As far as New Day versus Usos, I think Hell in a Cell is a great way to end it. This rivalry has been nothing but fantastic for the tag teams in general. And if you're going to end it, you got to end it in a cell, baby. We don't want to just defend our titles at Hell in a Cell. We want to defend our titles in Hell in a Cell. Probably the fucking best promo, at that entire show. Period. I mean, I give Sammy number 2. Because that was a great promo from Sami Zayn when he was talking to Kevin Owens. But number 1 was definitely the New Day. Well, I'm Gary Maloney. And I'm here for Sacktown Slam. And I will have an NXT review for you guys tomorrow. So thank you for being here. And thank you for listening. I am out.